Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while, I feel like, but I was just sick for a while and I'm feeling better. So I wanted to sit down and do an anti-haul video. These have been going around a lot recently and I think they're just something really fun to watch and to do. There's just so much makeup coming out on the market recently and companies are releasing stuff like crazy, and there's just some stuff I feel like is really hyped up, but then it comes out and it's not worth it sometimes. So these are some things that have been really hyped up. They're recent releases, and I just feel like watching reviews on them and watching other people's videos about it, it's just ultimately not worth the money, and some of this stuff is pretty pricey. So I figured it would be really fun just to tell you guys what products I will not be purchasing. I will say that there are no highlighting products in this because I'm a highlighter junkie, so I just always want to try highlighters. So I don't think I have anything else to add except please be sure to subscribe before you leave, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get on into the video. So I just have all the products listed on my phone, and the first one that I have listed is actually a brand, and it's the Pretty Vulgar brand that just recently launched in Sephora. And just watching all of the videos about this brand and the different products, it doesn't seem worth it, and it is a pretty pricey brand. Just watching people use the products and actually seeing the products, they don't blow me away at all. So it's just, to me, and ultimately it wouldn't be worth it. I think what was selling people the most was the packaging and the name. The packaging is beautiful, I will admit that, and the name I like the name too. It's just something really creative. But ultimately, the reviews have been a little mixed, and some products just don't seem like they're worth it. There's other products that are the same, and they're just ultimately better, and probably a better price too. What I'm seeing, most of their stuff is $24, like their mascara, their lipsticks, everything seems to be $24. The packaging, oh my gosh, like especially with the eyeliner pen, I think it is beautiful. They have a bronzer on here that's $32. It is a cruelty-free brand, which I think is awesome. But like I said, just ultimately the stuff for the price just doesn't seem like it's worth it to me. Like $32 highlighters and stuff like that, and you can get highlighters from the drugstore that are probably just as good as or better for way cheaper, obviously, because it's from the drugstore. So overall, I just don't think that's a brand that I will be trying, at least anytime soon, if ever. So next I have a couple palettes. 3 of them are from Too Faced, and honestly, I've never actually bought a Too Faced palette because they just don't blow me away. I do have their contour palette, but I don't have any of their eye palettes. Only because it's just so, I don't really know how to explain it. I feel like for the price, it's just not worth it in the end. Like, what sells their packaging, especially with like their Sweet Peach palette, which Sweet Peach is the first one I want to talk about, because the scent is just so sweet, and to me the shadows just aren't anything special. You can get other palettes that have so much more in it and probably just are a little bit better and a little bit better priced at that. The Sweet Peach palette goes for $49, and like I said, the smell is just way too sweet. I haven't even bought any of their chocolate bar palettes. I didn't put those on here because those are something I might try because I'm a really neutral-eyed person. But their Sweet Peach palette, it didn't blow me away. And they're coming out with a bunch of new Sweet Peach stuff in the line, and none of that blew me away either, except maybe like the mattifying spray, and they had something else that I was interested in. But for the actual makeup in the Sweet Peach line, none of it's blown me away. none of the lip glosses, the highlighters, the eye palettes, anything like that. So I'll definitely not be buying those. The Natural Love palette is another one. It's just looking at it, it's a lot of product for the price, and the price of the Natural Love palette is $59. So for the price, you do get a lot of eyeshadows in the palette, but it's a lot of the same shadows, it seems. Just a little bit lighter or darker with just little bit of a different undertone in it. It's just a very neutral palette, which I feel is just repeated. There's a couple shades in there that look a little bit repeated, but ultimately I just don't think it'd be worth it. Like I said, there's a ton of other palettes where you can get those neutral shades plus like a little bit of pop of color and stuff like that, warm tones, cool tones, stuff like that. And to me, those are just something I would reach for more even if I had the Natural Love palette. So that's one I will not be buying from Too Faced. And the last one from Too Faced that I don't plan on buying is the Glitter Bomb palette. I think it's already out, and it's going for $45, and just nothing about it blows me away. I'm a really big glitter person. I don't wear it a lot, but I do like glittery eyes and stuff like that. But it's just, I have to have mattes in the palette. And they do have like the white intensifier and then like that black, whatever. They have those two white and black shades in there for intensifying and stuff like that. But I need like transition mattes, like transition shade mattes. Like the Modern Renaissance palette, they have their shimmer shades, this is what I have on my eyes right now. I just did the same thing as Casey Holmes in her last tutorial, her summer tutorial. I really love the look, and I really love the way it looks. Like, it just looks really nice. But this one, it just has like the nice shimmers and stuff like that, but it has some really good matte transition shades. Like Raw Sienna and Warm Taupe are really good transition shades. And if you're doing an orangey tone look, Burnt Orange, and then they have a really nice deep brown shade. And these do have a nice pop of color. You can get a neutral look, but you can get a really dramatic look. The only issue that I've had with this palette is the fact that it does not have a black shade in it. I have to have a black eyeshadow in my palettes. And it doesn't really have a cream matte shade. This isn't matte. It's got some shimmer in it. I do use it as a cream matte shade, even though it's not completely matte. But other than that, I love this palette. This is like the perfect example of a perfect palette aside from that matte black shade. If it had a matte black shade in it, this would be so much better. I just think this palette is phenomenal, and Anastasia really hit it on the head with this. This is a very, very hyped up product, but I do not think it's overhyped. I think this is 100% worth the money, worth the hype, worth everything. Anyway, back to the Glitter Bomb palette. It's just, and the glitter colors in it didn't really blow me away. Like, they were nothing special. They were just different glittery eyeshadows, which I feel like you can get in so many other palettes. Like Makeup Revolution does have a lot of glittery palettes, like this one, for example. This is our Mermaids Forever palette. This has a lot of pops of color. This has 0 matte shades in it, which of course I'm not happy about, but it's such an affordable palette. I believe this is a $15 palette, but look at all the pops of colors you get. They do have some more neutral shimmer shades over here. They have a deeper black shimmer, some more neutrals over here, some orange, some pinks. This is just a really good, affordable palette if you're wanting shimmer and color. Like, I think this is really good. Because I have this, I feel like I really don't need the Glitter Bomb palette. And I have a couple other palettes that have just a bunch of shimmery and glittery colored shades in it, to where I feel like I just don't need a palette that is just full glitter eyeshadows. I don't feel like I need to pay $45 for that palette. And another example, I have like this little Ulta Metallic 6-piece eyeshadow palette. I don't know if they're going to stop selling this or not. I haven't been able to find it on their website. They still had the display in stores, but this one is just a really good shimmer glitter like I guess kind of alternative. It isn't very colorful, and you do only get 6 shades, but I believe this palette, does it have it back here? It was only $16, and if they still sell this, I would really highly recommend getting your hands on it. Super pigmented. These purples are really pretty. I've done a look with it before on my channel. I'll link it down below. They're just really pretty, really shimmery shades, and you can do so much with them. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a matte in it, which I would prefer with all my palettes. But I already have this Ulta Matte Neutrals palette, so it kind of just goes hand in hand. So pretty much whenever I want to do a look with these, I reach for this one. And Ulta's palettes this size are $20, so that is a little bit pricey. But honestly, Ulta shadows are super creamy and buttery, and they're just really nice. And this is a completely matte palette, which this is perfect to complement any shimmer. So it kind of goes hand in hand with this Ulta palette for me, and it just has a lot of good transition shades in it for whatever look you're doing. If you're doing like a purpley tone look, there's this color here and this color. This is kind of like an orangish toned color. It's got a nice gray in it, which that's why I bought the palette, and I have a look using that gray. Some nice matte cream shades, a pink creamy shade, a really nice black eyeshadow in here. So I feel like just between all the palettes I have and some other palettes that I'm wanting to buy that are a little bit more affordable than the Glitter Bomb palette, I just don't need that one. Sorry, I went way off track with that one. But anyway, the next palette that I will definitely not be purchasing, this has been so hyped up these past couple weeks, and it is the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Now, I do not own any of the Naked palettes except my little Naked Basics palette, and this is a staple for me. I just love it. It's all mattes except for this like really like it's a sheen. No, it's not a sheen. It's just a little bit of a shimmery creamy shade. Other than that, this is staple. I used to use this thing all the time. I used it for my eyebrows, for my eye look when I wanted something really neutral, and I have been reaching for it a little bit more recently. The quality of Urban Decay shadows, I feel like aren't the best quality, but they are still really good. Now, I have not yet swatched the Naked Heat palette to see if it's different from any of the other Naked palettes, but even if I did, it's just, I like warm tone shades and stuff like that, but I feel like I don't need that many in a palette. Like, I have so many other palettes that have nice warm shades in it. Now, it would be nice to have a palette that I could use that wasn't limited edition, because a lot of my palettes that I pull my warmer shades from, and my orangey shades and my red shades, were limited edition. So they're not even sold anymore. So it would be nice to have a palette that's not limited edition, but I just cannot see myself using it that often, and I don't want to buy something that I'm not going to use. Now, all the palettes that I do have that are limited edition, I do use a lot off camera. I try not to use them on camera because obviously you cannot get your hands on them, but they're my favorites most of the time. Plus, with the release of the Naked Heat palette, it just came so many videos on YouTube, and I just honestly got tired of seeing it. It was literally, I logged on one day and it was probably like 5 videos in a row about the Naked Heat palette. That's what I love. I think it was Holmes. She did a video using the palette, but she didn't base a complete video around the collection. And it is a collection, so it's not just the palette. It came with, I believe, 2 eyeliners and 2 lipsticks. Now, one of the lipsticks does look really nice, and I really could see myself buying it and using that. But all the other things in the collection, including the palette, I just cannot see myself ever really reaching for on a day-to-day basis, or just in general. Like, I could see myself buying it to do a video and then never touching it again. And honestly, why do I need that? I don't. Moving on, there's only 2 more products that I have to talk about. The first thing is the collaboration with Kylie Cosmetics and Kim Kardashian West. They're not liquid lipsticks. They're like the cream formula lipsticks or lip creams or whatever, those honestly all look the same. All the colors in that just look identical, and I cannot wrap my head around that. And the kit is $45 for 4 of them. And honestly, like, really, that's just not worth it to me, especially when all of the colors in the kit look the same. There are some subtle differences within the colors, but nothing too dramatic to where if you had them all on your lips, they would look different. I've seen people do videos on it and they take one off and put the next one on and it looks the same. Like, how does that make sense? Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, my favorite brand that does cream lipsticks is actually Bare Minerals. This is a sample of one of them. This is their cream matte, I don't want to call it a lipstick, but it's just like a matte cream lip color, and this one is actually in Swag. It's my favorite color. I hate the name. It's my favorite color. It's a very pinky, neutral toned color, and it smells heavenly. I don't know how much the full size of these are. So the lip kit having 4 colors in it for $45 is not that bad, actually. It's just the fact that the colors are all the same, especially when Bare Minerals makes a good cream matte stuff, and Catrice, for a drugstore option, if I could hold on to them, makes really good matte lip creams too. I have 2 of theirs, one in Rose Your Voice and one in Plumbing Bird. These honestly remind me so much of the Bare Minerals ones, so they're a lot more affordable. They are a little bit more glossy, so that's the only downfall and the only really big difference I see in the Bare Minerals ones. So that's what these 2 look like. They, like I said, remind me so much of the Bare Minerals ones, just a little bit more glossy. As you can see, Bare Minerals isn't as shiny. But ultimately, they all feel the same. They all work the same, and these especially are really affordable. I think these were less than $5. And another product from Kim Kardashian West is the contour and highlight sticks. Now this is for $48. You get a double-ended contour stick, a double-ended highlight stick, and a double-ended brush / sponge. But once you roll the product all the way up, the amount of product you get is literally about that much. I don't cream contour and highlight enough for that to be worth it in any sense. Like, that's just not worth it at all. I do have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow contour and highlight stick, which rolled all the way out is actually a little bit more product than what you'd get with the Kim Kardashian one, and I've used this a good amount. So yeah, I've used this a really good amount. This is really pigmented. This is really nice and creamy. It's really cheap. It's Wet n Wild, so you know it's affordable. Look at the pigmentation on this. I cannot rationalize buying a $48 kit for not a lot of products, when this actually has a little bit more product to me. And granted, you do not get a double-ended contour and a double-ended highlight, and you do get like a shimmery highlight with it, and this one's just like a matte highlight shade. But really, you can find so many contour and highlight stick options at the drugstore that are probably so much better. Now, she does have a nice shade range in them. I will give her that. Excuse me. I believe she has 4 shades: light, medium, dark, and very dark, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, just really $48 for a little bit of product. I feel like if you cream contour and highlight a lot with sticks, you're going to run and burn through that really quickly. Like, I can just imagine if I cream contour and highlighted every time I did my makeup, that would not last me very long at all. I am a makeup junkie. I wear makeup a lot. So if I were to cream contour and highlight every time, no, that's just not worth it. I would be buying those probably like twice a month. I think I've rambled on enough, so that's actually it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you'll be notified anytime I post a video. You can also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and I made a Facebook page as well, so I'll have all the links to that in the description box down below, so you can follow me everywhere else.